Right, this is our second go at changing one of the 3D box frames, and this time we're going to add a pattern. Now I'm using the A5 frame and the template is an A4 sheet. That's fairly important when you coming to put a pattern behind. So first of all I need to open the template, so File, Open. I'm already in the right place. You might need to find your template. There we go, and we open the template. Now the very first thing I'm going to do is rotate this template round, basically because I want it to be a landscape rather than portrait, and I'm going to just rotate it clockwise like that. Now this full sheet is A4, even though this is an A5 template, so the pattern I'm going to put behind, I'll choose one which is A4, and because it's this way round, I'll choose one which is landscape. So again, File, Open. This time I'm going to have to find the design I want. I want to do a football one. I know they're here somewhere. There we go, football. Backing papers. Yeah, they're all in the same place on my computer, but we won't worry about that. And I'll choose that one there. Actually, no, let's go a bit darker. We'll have that one there. So that's an A4 landscape backing paper. And there you can see it. So if you look at the top here, we've now got two things open. We've got the frame and we've got the pattern we want to add to the frame. So first thing to do, the next thing to do, is to select and copy that pattern, put it into the memory of the program. This is quite easy. Edit, select all. Obviously you need to make sure you clicked on the pattern. It's the pattern which is appearing, and we've selected that pattern, and edit, copy. That puts it into the memory. And now by clicking in the top here, we click back on the template and the template appears in our window. There we are, and there's the template. And what we're going to do, I changed that, but I need to go back up to the top, because edit, and it's important to paste as new layer. Edit, paste as new layer. Remember, it's the ball pattern which is in the memory, so paste as new layer, and you'll see it appears down here. And it's come on top of the template. Well, that's not quite what we want, so we want the layer palette. Remember, we pasted it as new layer. If you can't see your layer palette, go to the top right hand side, and one of those buttons will be hide and show the layer palette. Okay, obviously we want it to show. We want to go down to the layer palette, and there you can see the two layers in this image. There's the template and the pattern. And what we want to do is click on the template, click and hold it, and just drag it up. So the template will come to the top and the pattern's below it. So now if we go to our main window, we can just see the template. Right, the next stage is to go over to the toolbar and select this, which we call the magic wand. Well, that will select an area based on colour. If we go back to our template, go onto the orange, click, and you'll see all the orange is selected. Go to my keyboard and hit delete. That deletes the orange and just leaves that green. Well, sorry, just leaves the pattern, which is exactly what I wanted. Now the last thing I need to do Just do some up with these sides. That's an okay colour, but what I'm going to do is make them the same green as between the footballs. I could delete them if I wanted and have the footballs on them as well, but I'm not. I'm just going to have those as a solid colour. So to get that colour, I want to go back to my layer palette and make sure I've got the bottom layer with the colour on selected. Back to my toolbar, and this is what we call the colour picker or the dropper. Click on that, and then if I click on the green, I'll left click on the green. Let me just move my colour palette so you can see it. Now watch the top left hand side, the primary colour. If I left click on the green, that primary colour goes into there. Okay, so I've selected the green as my primary colour. Back to the layer palette and select the template. Back to the toolbar and select my fill. Now this looks like the bucket tool, and it's a fill tool, and it'll fill the colour you've selected into an area. So if I just left click here, that green will appear. Same here, 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 etc. until it's on. Obviously I didn't have to make it that colour, but I thought that would look best. So you can do that with any of our designs. If you're doing the template this way round, it wouldn't have actually mattered so much with the football. You could turn it round as and when you wish. But if you had something like, say, last week's Wolves with their heads on, you'd want to do it the correct way round. Finish off, file, save that, and obviously you'll want to give it a new name. Need somewhere to put it. Let's put it on our desktop, and I'm going to change that so it's a JPEG. I want to save it as a JPEG, and I'll call it a football frame. I'll hit save. It'll probably ask you a couple of questions. This is to scrunch the file a bit and make it smaller. I usually leave that around 90%, which is fine. And it'll also warn you that you're going to flatten it to one layer, which is exactly what you want. So flatten, and there it's saved as the football template. Now that might have all seemed slightly complicated, but honestly, once you've done it a couple of times, it'll be second nature to you. I'm going to go through that very quickly a second time so you can see how you can get into the flow of it. Obviously I need to open the template, which means me finding it this time. Yeah, I have the most complicated filing system going. When I said I was doing this quickly, I forgot I need to find these things. There it is. I'll do a landscape one again, so I need to rotate that. Now I need to find the image I want to use. I did mention the wolf earlier, so let's find those wolf images from last week. Wolves. I obviously want the landscape ones. Small is better. So let's go for that one, I think. Yeah, I like that one. Edit, select all, edit, copy. I go back to my template and edit, paste into new layer, back to my layers palette, switch them around so the template's on top, select tool, select the orange and hit delete on the keyboard, and there's the wolf come through. Quickly back to my layer palette and just select that underneath layer, the pattern, for a second, because I'm going to go and choose a colour from it. So I want the dropper tool, and then slightly more difficult, I'm zooming in, bottom right hand side of paint.net, you'll see a zoom button. I'll zoom in, let's move that slightly for you so you can see it, and we want to pick one of these colours. I'll keep an eye on the colour palette so I can have a couple of stabs, maybe a bit dark. Yeah, that grey seems to work for me. So over to the layer palette, click back on the template, make sure we're on the template, and zoom out. There it is. Fill tool, which is the bucket. There we go. And I'll just go back to the image and use the fill tool on these side bits. And there we go. It is done. We've got another nice frame there, this time the wolf design. As I do it a couple of times, maybe starting and stopping the video, you'll soon get the hang of it. Don't forget to save it. I want to save that as something different. I'll put it on the desktop again. It says if you can find the desktop. There it is. Make sure it's a JPEG file, because for printing purposes. And it's the wolf frame. I'll just mention there that it's A5. Save 90% and flatten. And there it is. Okay, I hope that wasn't too complicated. So do it a couple of times, you'll soon get the hang of it. Any questions? If you're looking at this on the website, you'll see a comments box below, and you're welcome to ask any questions there. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.